Welcome to Anna Learns channel, where we help your family to enjoy learning about the Bible through the resources that we have created, as well as practice and grow in creativity and art. We have something inspiring for every age, kids, teens, and adults. I'm Tanya, pastor's wife, illustrator, and an author. And in today's video, we are going to create some spring inspiring sketches and ideas. So if some of you know, I have created this on our Instagram account. Make sure you follow us there because we have some fun ideas there. And in today's video, I thought I would recreate it and I would guide you through how I made it, what I thought worked out well, what I thought didn't really work out well, how we can fix it, and maybe you could follow along with me and enjoy this time using markers or maybe other materials that you wanted to use to recreate this beautiful spring sketch or spring ideas page. I do have tea with me here. I made some peppermint tea. Oh my goodness, I am cold and I'm excited to drink this tea. It says, be joyful always. We need that. I hope you guys had a great week. I am happy to see you here again on Sunday. I'm going to try to be consistent coming here on Sunday and drawing with you or chatting with you or looking through our book with you. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media so you don't miss out on inspiring videos, new upcoming classes, and new impactful resources coming out for you and your family. I want to show you what I have prepared here. This is obviously what I created through our on our Instagram account, and I have a blank piece of paper. When I work with Ohuhu markers, these are Ohuhu markers, I'm going to be talking about what they are. So they're alcohol based, and why is that different from maybe Crayola markers that we all know, right? I'm going to be using a thicker paper because alcohol markers bleed through thin paper, and you'll see that it will even bleed through this paper. Maybe we'll be able to see here. See, it bleeds through even through this paper. So I like to use thick paper so I don't have to worry that it's bleeding through on my desk or on my paper that's underneath. These are a few just ideas that I gathered around the internet that looked inspiring to me and kind of followed them, kind of didn't. I did a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Not exactly. I changed up some colors, but I loved some shapes. I pretty much did this one the way it is. I mean, some things are different here and they have polka dots around. We don't have that. And I really like this design. It reminds me of a picnic table or picnic blanket. So I really wanted to do that one. So these are my ideas, and I'm going to guide you through what I did to pick these colors, what I did to create these designs, and we're going to talk about what colors to select and what are Ohuhu markers, what are alcohol markers. These are my marker swatches. I created this file, and if you would like a file that you can download it for free down below. In the description, you will find links. So this is again a thick paper, and I just went through my markers and I colored them in, and I used a pen, either a light pen or a white pen, and I put the numbers on. So it's really easy for me to reference. If I'm looking for a pink color, I can look at all of the pinks and I can think to myself, okay, this is obviously too bright. This is a little too coral. This is a little too light. What's in the middle? What do I like for what I need to draw? By the way, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but in my last video, my nails were kind of like coming off. I hope it didn't bother you, but they are fresh just for you guys, so you're welcome. So we're going to be not using these today, but I did wanted to show you that these swatches are very helpful and you can do that with any markers you have. I have different type of markers with me and I'll show you different type in just a second, but it's really easy. It's really helpful to just have these swatches on the side and reference them in case I need a color or I need to find a specific color that works with another color. I'm going to put these to the side and we're going to start on our designs. So um, let me guide you through my thought process. So whenever I get ready for a video or just a session to draw and have fun, I like to look at some inspirations to obviously get in the creative mood, to get inspired. So I am going into my work with an idea in my head. These I pulled from Pinterest, and this is just for fun. So if we are pulling an idea from Pinterest, I like to kind of make it my own and not just copy and paste. Sometimes if I am just practicing or this is just for fun, it's not going to be sold or anything like that, then I can copy and paste and just try it out. But if you are creating something that you are going to be selling, then I would say, of course, get some references, get some ideas that you like on the internet, but try to make it your own because you don't want to take anybody else's idea if you are going to claim it yours. So for this video, we are just having fun and we are just drawing and we are maybe testing out some marker colors. Maybe you're going to test out some new markers that you bought or you're just getting some inspiration. So we don't care if we kind of follow these. Like, for example, this one is very similar. Still, it's not really similar. If you look close, like the colors are different, the shapes are different. This is obviously a digital drawing, but you know what I mean. We're going to put this to the side and we're not going to need it because we already have my creation that I created. And now we're going to try to recreate it. Before we go into it though, I want to show you what I have prepared here. So when I am about to make a video, I like to do a few things. I like to write down what colors I picked, what colors really worked well. And how I do that is I look at my marker swatches and I think to myself, I really like this color with this color with this color. I write it down on sticky notes, and then I do some testers on a piece of paper and then I have it ready so I can pull my markers out. So today, this is the list of the colors that I'm using. So if you are using Ohuhu markers, this will be linked down below and you can reference it or you can make a screenshot if you can see it on the screen. So I want to talk to you about different types of markers so we have an understanding of what materials we are using. So these are the swatches of Ohuhu markers. They are alcohol based. And alcohol based markers are really nice because they don't have much of an overlap when you're drawing. They don't look dirty, they don't look messy. When you're drawing them, it looks very smooth. On the other hand, when you use water-based Crayola markers, do you see how it's not as smooth as the alcohol markers? So Crayola markers are water-based markers, and usually when you use those, they are nice. Um, and they don't bleed through the other side. If you can tell, these are alcohol based, they're bleed through, but Crayola, water based markers, Crayola is just a brand. They are really nice for thin paper. That's why kids use them on paper, and parents can be sure that it's not going to be on the desk afterwards. If you want to use water-based markers today, and I'm going to show you a few water-based markers that I have, but I do want you to feel like if you don't have Ohuhu markers necessarily, that you can buy any markers that are basically Crayola markers, water-based markers, pretty cheap, and you can follow along. It is possible. It's just not going to quite match. For example, I wanted to pick colors that are pretty similar, and look, they do look pretty good. With Ohuhu markers, they're a little bit more um, uh, pastel in some ways, and with water-based Crayola markers, they're a little bit bright. But these are the markers that I used, and they're not Crayola, they're this brand, but I literally bought them for 50 cents at Target when it was back to school season. So there obviously might not be that price right now. Um, but these are water-based markers that usually kids use. And you can use them today if you have some at home. Feel free if you don't have any alcohol markers. I also have these markers, and they are also water-based markers. And I'm going to show you. So water-based, these are nice because they do have a nice brush. Looks pretty smooth, right? But if you want to go on top of them, this line will be seen. So this will be lighter and this will be darker. But if you do use a alcohol-based marker, and they dry even better. If you do, while it's wet, if you do want to go on top of it, you're not going to see the darkness much. You won't be able to see the difference because it's just soaking in all the color. It's blending together like watercolor does. But here, whatever color you place down on your paper, it's going to stay there and it's not going to move. With alcohol base, they are kind of like spreading. And that is also something you need to be aware of, that alcohol based markers, they do spread sometimes. If you color in with a like coloring page, you can see that they're spreading over the outline, the black line. So it's something you should be aware of. So if you want to use just basic water-based Crayola type markers, you can in this video. I wanted to show you that they're not that different if you can match up colors to whatever we are going to use in Ohuhu markers. So it is possible, and as you can tell, I'm going to be using a white marker. If you don't have a white pen, that's okay. You can just try, for now, any black pen that you have at home. I'm going to be using this white gel pen. It's great. Uh, and I'm going to link it down below. It was like a pack of 2 for $5 on Amazon, and they work great. You can also use paint marker. Paint marker is basically paint in a marker. So like acrylic paint in a marker. So if you find those, you can also use that. And it works pretty well. This is a gel pen. So we're going to be using this, but feel free to use any other color. So for example, if you have green, right? And you want to do dark green flowers on it, try it out. Why not? Or just a black pen. Again, we are just trying to be creative here, have fun, and experiment. This here, maybe I'll keep it on the bottom right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. So let's start on our work. So I'm going to, I don't have enough space because I do have this candle here. I don't want it to be out of frame. I really love how it smells and I really love how it looks in the shot. So I don't really want to put it out of frame. But I do have to scooch a few things over here. You're not going to be able to see this. Maybe I'm going to have to put this somewhere else. Can you see it if it's on the bottom? Maybe this goes like that. And then we can kind of do this. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, good. And I want you to know that if you want to share your progress and artwork on our social media, like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, remember to tag us when you post it, or you can also send your work over to our email, and I would love to see it. So when you start your own page, I love to start with my colors. So I'm basically laying them down on the piece of paper so I know these are the colors I have, this is how they look. And sometimes the cap color can be deceiving in Ohuhu markers. Like that's not the same. That's clearly kind of reddish and this is kind of coral. And that's frustrating sometimes, honestly. For example, orange, this is super pastel and that is much brighter. That's why you swatch your Ohuhu markers. So let's start swatching our top, and you can arrange this however you want. You can make these whatever you want. You can make them hearts, you can make them flowers, you can make them, I don't know, anything you want. And actually, I'm gonna make them flowers. Why not? We're going to have some fun. So let's start with our green. Okay, got my first flower. Cute. Now, hopefully I can match it. I'm following this order right here. Hopefully my flowers can match. Man, what if they don't? He's gonna bother me. Not bad. They're organic looking. Now we have light blue, dark blue, and this is why I like to write them down because sometimes you literally can't tell. Like these look like the same exact. Maybe this is a little bit dark, a little bit dark. Um, so 120 dark blue, correct. We're gonna start with light blue though. Okay, I did it. Some of these look a little wonky, but I don't know how I feel. I honestly like these a little bit more, but you guys let me know what shape you chose. So we're going to go to our first example. So we need dark blue and light blue for that. We're going to start with dark blue. On your markers, you have two sides and sometimes they're different. So one is long brush size, felt tip, and the other one can be angled, harder tip. My markers have a hard edged tip. If you don't have this tip, that's okay. You can just use anything and make lines. It's it's fine. And also another tip, be careful when you open your markers. If you open them aggressively, the paint will go everywhere, and it did. Um, so I like to open them kind of tame and slowly and gently. So I'm gonna use this hard tip and I'm going to do a few swatches. Honestly, sometimes it's not that easy to use this one. And then I'm gonna use this tip to do maybe the blue lines. So I like to make it flat. So if this is the paper, I like to make it all the way flat and drag it down. See, that's not easy. See, that's like, what is going on? That is not easy at all. I always have the hardest time with these, and it seems like they're made to make it easier to create like long lines, but maybe I'm just not practiced enough. I don't know. I don't know what my problem is. That one turned out fine, but this one's thicker than that one. Tell me if that bothers you. I can't really fix it much. I don't want to make it too thick. Am I gonna mess it up for you guys? I don't know. And a third one. That worked out fine. I don't know why the first one was such a hassle. And also fixing the edges with these, maybe not the easiest. Okay, so the mistake that I made here, which I knew it, I just kind of did it anyways, I wasn't thinking, is that if you overlap different colors while they're still wet, they're going to bleed into each other. We don't want that. We want a sharp difference here. So if you could look a little closer, you would be able to see that some of these lines bled into the other colors. So the color bled into the other color, and it looked even messier when I didn't have the white lines. Do you see this? I am putting color on my paper. That's okay. I already took some pictures, but bummer. It's okay. It is what it is. Maybe have another piece of paper under your paper. Be smarter than me. So these are still wet. I can just feel that it's wet. So we're going to move on to doing this green. The gel pen comes all the way at the end. We're doing the gel pen on everything in one go. So we're going to take our green, and you can make different shape. You don't have to make a square shape or a rectangle shape. I did enjoy making those. So I don't know. We're making things differently. So should we make a circle or an oval? I feel like that's not going to work. I'm going to make, I want to have my strawberries here. So I'm going to make a little, I'm going to leave a little space, and I'm going to align it. And I also like an organic shape. I'm not, I'm not using a ruler here uh, and trying to make this perfect. And I love coloring it in. Filling in the color is very satisfying. I don't like to go fast. If you go fast, the color kind of uh, is not as saturated, and you might see streaks and lines. And that also depends on the dryness of your marker. Usually, if they're dry, they will leave streaks and lines. Sometimes you can go over it again and it will look pretty good if it's wet. Remember, if you go over your alcohol markers while it's wet, that's good. But if it's dry, you will see the difference in color. So right now you might be like, oh, I see the lines, but just wait a second and it will blend into the other color because it's still wet. So we're going to wait for this to dry, and we're going to come back and do the light blue lines. So we're using our other blue, and I told you that I would use this tip, so let's try it. See, so that is tricky. I did not have enough space. So what I'm going to do is extend it. And then we're going to extend the blue after. So I quite like this one more because it's thinner. I don't like this one already. But that's okay. We're just experimenting, right? You can do it however you want to also. Let's go to our tulips next. So I'm gonna take my pinkish purple. I don't know, it was supposed to be purple, but it kind of looks pink. And I'm gonna make kind of a cup shape. Little two leaves, and then another mountain in the middle. So, and again, a cup shape. Then make it two leaves. And another mountain in the middle. Let's try to fit four in here. I'm so bad at fitting things today. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to fit 4 in there. I should have had 3 in there. These are tiny. These are bigger. Everything is bigger in this one. It's like I want to just start from the beginning, but I won't. I won't. um, okay, so let's just do 3, I guess. Let's take our red and same with this. We're gonna make big, small, big. So I'm gonna make kind of a cup size, a long cup with a pointy bottom, and then finish it off at the top with a rounded line. Okay, that's okay, but what was I thinking putting it so close here? Oh, why is this one not working out, you guys? I don't know. We're just trying to um trying to have fun. Are we having fun? So just make sure that you have enough space so you can do the top green part. Now let's take our green. Let's do our bottoms of our tulips. So we're going to do a line. We're going to do line under each tulip. And how we're going to create the leaves is we're going to make a curvy line on both sides. Curvy line. Curvy line. And then we're going to do another curvy line on top and fill it in. Another curvy line on top and fill it in. So you can determine how long you want the curvy line to be, how long you want your leaves to be, because these are super high. These are lower, and that's okay. So now I'm going to try to go and make them the same height. So curvy line, curvy line, curvy line, curvy line. And now top curvy line, top curvy line, top curvy line, and top curvy line, fill it in. Did it. Okay, let's finish our blue because that is driving us crazy, isn't it? Okay, better. Yes. Okay, it's cute. It's cute. Okay, we're gonna do our pink now. So I do want to leave a little space right here for our flowers. Maybe we're not gonna necessarily do the exact thing, but I do want to leave some space for that. So let's see how big we want it to be. So I want to fill this space in here, and I want to fill that space because we're not putting anything on the side of this. And not too big. So everything's bigger here, but that's okay. Why not? It can be whatever we want it to be. And now let's fill it in. Don't wait too long. We don't want the edge to dry. We're probably, so this marker is a little dry. You can see that it's making lines. We don't really want that. So we're going to go over it again afterwards. Okay, this is a big rectangle, but I like it. Now we are going to go to these flowers and we're going to start making them. So pick whatever color you want. I'm going to pick random colors. We don't have to match these, and maybe we won't, you know. I'm gonna maybe take my pink. I'm gonna take a little bit of my pink and I'm gonna make big flowers with them. So petal, petal, petal. So I'm gonna make these flowers. These are a little bit different from the ones that we have on the example page, and why not? Maybe some greenery. That would be great. Green leaves. Try to make them not touch. Leaves, 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 tiny leaves, big leaves. And I do love these tiny red flowers. So we're gonna recreate those. I love how that looks. So let's go and do our green um, toppers on these. So how I do the toppers is I basically just create different leaves coming different directions. This one is growing out of that one. What can you do? Let's do our red strawberries on there, and we're going to do the same movement as here, and I'm gonna do bigger sizes, smaller sizes. To make the pattern more interesting, I like to make your objects point different ways and also make your objects kind of come out from the edges. That's really fun, I think, when you are looking overall at your artwork. And now let's do a little bit of greenery. Okay, we did that. And now I think we can confidently do our gel pen. So here is my gel pen. And I like to start at the top because if you start at the bottom, if I do some gel pen over here and I'm going to put my hand on it, it's going to transfer because it's still wet and I'm going to drag it everywhere. So let's think what we want to do here that is white. So I would like to put the middle part. And remember, if you want to share your progress and your artwork on our social media, then you can tag us there, or you can also send it to our email. And I would love to see your work. I would love to see your progress. I'm proud of you for trying something new today or just having fun creating art. Okay, that's really cute. I really like that. So now let's do some white on these. So basically, I'm just doing white lines. Okay, I did that. If we need to go over the lines again, we might be able to do that later. Let's start with something small up top here. So I want to do these seeds because it makes it look more like a strawberry with seeds. I think it makes it look really cute. And now I'm going to create the flowers here. So I'm going to create the flowers just the normal way we create a flower. And I'm going to fill it in all the way. And then we're going to go back, and when the pen is dry, we're going to put the green center into it. That's how I got the green center here. So I'm going to put my flowers here. I'm going to put my leaves all around, and I'm going to put my polka dots all around. Okay, so this is what I have so far, and now we're going to go to our tulips. And by the way, here I didn't do them as close as over here, and you can do whatever you like. So if you want them a little bit closer and if you want the flowers a little bit bigger, go for it, do that. So for our tulips, we're gonna do the lines in the center. And then I don't know if I actually want to do the lines over here, so let's skip that part. And now let's get to our flowers over here. So these flowers are a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna start at the top left corner, and I'm gonna do everything over there because I don't want my pen to get onto my hands and transfer on my artwork. I'm gonna do small flowers and big flowers. Okay, and now that we have our flowers, I'm going to do the leaves next to the flowers. Okay, I really like how that looks. So now we need a little bit of something here. So I am going to do a white center for my pink flowers and for my orange flowers and for my red flowers. And now maybe for my blue flowers, I can use the same blue or I can make a different blue. Let's try to use the same blue and just make a really dark center. Maybe let's take our pink here and let's do a little bit of a line coming from the center. Yes, I love that. So it's the same pink, but because I'm drawing on dry, it looks like it's darker because I have now 2 layers of pink. Okay, what else do we need to do? We need to do green inside of our flowers. And I also need to do the centers in our white flowers over here. So I want to make them orange. So I'm going to just dab it a few times until the color shows up. Sometimes it doesn't want to show up right away on a white gel pen. You know what? Maybe we do add just few polka dots because that's always makes it so much cuter. I love how that looks, and we are finished. Thank you for being here and doing this with me. Please let me know if you have any ideas that you want to do next and you want to follow along. Thank you for tuning in to drawing this spring inspired idea, sketch, and maybe you could say. And I hope you feel inspired and I hope you feel capable to try this yourself because why not? We're just trying to grow in our creativity and art here together. So maybe this is a new material for you. Just go for it, try it out. And sometimes you can put it to the side and you can start over. And sometimes you continue and you finish and you actually like it because at first I didn't quite like it, but look how cute this looks. I really like how this looks and I'm really happy with it. And I actually do like these flowers at the top. I didn't like them before. So, sometimes you have to persevere, keep going, and then you just kind of warm up to your artwork. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so more people can find and enjoy our community. Check out the description below for any links you might be interested in. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Share your progress and your artwork on our social media, or send your artwork over to our email. I would love to see it. Tune in next Sunday for another video. I love you all. God bless, and see you next time.